Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic. What small thing pisses you off more than usual? Any sticker that you can't peel off in one piece. Absolutely infuriating. Yes. Though, tip, if you're trying to get residue off something that you can get wet, like a glass jar, lemon essential oil is magical. I guess the acids affect the sticky residue, but rub the oil over the mess until it comes off, then rinse with soap and water. Also gets rid of the autisms. You can also get Goo Gone from the dollar store. It works practically like magic. Getting home after being out all day, taking off my pants, shoes, etc. And then having to go back out for something stupid. Once my wife takes her bra off for the day, it engages a 12-hour emotional lockdown where she wouldn't step outside for a herd of the world's cutest puppies giving away gold bars. I agree. Once the bra comes off, I will not leave the house. That signifies that the day is over. People who stand in front of exits/entrances having a conversation. Right there. Blocking the way. Blocking the aisle in a grocery store is equally infuriating, especially when they are standing in front of something you need. When I was 14, this miserable old couple was standing in the middle of an aisle with their cart right beside them, taking up almost the entire width of the aisle. I needed to get by, so I said, "Excuse me, I just got a sneak by." They just scoffed at me and went back to their bitching about the prices. I went to sneak my cart by them and I bumped their cart a little bit accidentally. They got mad and the woman went off about how this damn younger generation is so disrespectful, your mother should be ashamed in how she raised you. I told them to cry me a river and the woman lost her fucking mind. She told her husband someone needs whip that little bastard's ass. Can you believe the nerve? The husband just snapped enough at her and she gasped like he just slapped her. I may have caused a divorce, ha 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 ha. Fuck these people. Their cart in the middle of the damn aisle while you inch closer hoping they see you before you turn the aisle into a destruction derby of carts. I saw a woman doing this the other day on her phone. I stood next to her for a few seconds, let loose the fart I'd planned to release outside, and went on my way. Obligatory edit, thanks for the silver. I'm so glad my flatulence is worthy of recognition. I'm so proud of you, man. Chivalry isn't dead. People asking questions and then not listening for the answer. I have a different job now because my last boss did this so often. Edit, a lot of people with that have been responding and being kind of hard on themselves for knowing they do this. So I just want to say, I don't think that's the same thing. If you're making the effort and are not able to pay attention, that's fundamentally different from just choosing not to. I have an inverse problem with a relative, or I'll ask a question, and then they give an answer with no relation to what I just said because they weren't listening. Sounds like Comcast customer service. Edit, ye first silver, thanks. People not letting people off the subway or out of elevators. Getting off the subway, I just keep walking through them while yelling, "I have to get out before you get in." That's how this works. And it usually helps. I just stare at them and keep walking out. Works most of the time. The only time that happens is on school day mornings and it's like 6th graders pushing in. People walking 10% slower than you, I throw to view while you have no opportunity to pass them. Or the group of 4 to 5 people who walk in a damn formation so that no one shall pass. Fuck them too. I get so frustrated by this I typically bellow out, "Make a hole." When this technique is employed properly, the sea of people part as if I were Moses. Drivers that brake right of way to be nice, it's your turn to go. Fucking go. I got into a pretty serious accident because of this. We were coming across the top of a T intersection, but it was on a hill so visibility wasn't good. There was actually a permanent flashing yellow traffic light in both directions across the top, and a flashing red coming from the bottom of the T, so this was a known shitty intersection. Anyway, just as we're approaching the intersection, the guy coming from the opposite direction stops at the light to let the woman coming out of the T go. He couldn't have seen us coming, but he also had no reason to stop. He had a yellow light, she had a red. But when she sees him stop, she blows past the red without even looking in the other direction and slams into the side of our car. Totaled both cars, sent everyone to the hospital, and ended a dancing career. Fortunately, everyone was eventually alright, although the following few weeks sucked pretty bad all around. The dancing career wasn't mine, BTW, I couldn't dance to save my life even before the accident. I've read somewhere that this you go first gestures in traffic is sometimes called the wave of death, because it makes stuff like this happen. It's quite common. I once saw a Reddit thread asking for good general advice and someone wrote, when you drive, don't be nice, be predictable. I find myself thinking of it often when driving, so thanks to that stranger. This is what causes most of my road rage. There are traffic laws for a reason. Abide by them just like everyone else for everyone's safety. Being nice doesn't help anyone, it just causes panicked reaction by everyone around you. And use your fucking turn signal. Arg. People continuing to explain something to me after I've said I know at least thrice. My old roommate was a really heavy drinker, and he'd always go into the same collection of stories when he was trashed. You've told me this did nothing. He'd still tell the entire story. After 2 years, there were stories I'd literally heard 8 to 12 times. It was a relief to move. I hear you. My alcoholic dad tells the same stories pretty much every time we get together. It's equal parts irritating and depressing. I love my dad so much, though. Public Bluetooth speaker guy. Edit, to whoever gave me gold, thanks a lot. Ted, there's nothing worse than public Bluetooth speaker guy. James, yeah. How about gay people? Ted, wait, what? James, and immigrants. Bet you wish they'd just get carteled to death, huh? Ted, no, what the fuck? James, oh sorry. I just figured you hated all marginalized members of society, not just Bluetooth speaker guy. Ted, Bluetooth speaker guy isn't marginalized, he's just an asshole. James, have you even taken a second to get to know him? Ted, no, have you? James, for your information I have. He plays the music because his mom was a penny whore. The music was the only thing that drowned out the sound of the endless stream of Johns cycling in and out of their one-bedroom rent-controlled apartment. Ted, okay, well that's sad, but it doesn't explain why he doesn't wear headphones. James, he's never accomplished a thing in his life. He's not smart, not funny, not good looking. He only has one thing, Wu-Tang Clan's B-side. You really blame him for trying to share that with the world? Ted, all I'm saying is, James, he's also got a brain injury from getting his head smashed into a toilet bowl at school for liking Wu-Tang Clan's B-side. Now he can't wear headphones without getting migraines. Ted, oh. James, and on top of all this, he's got a micropies. Ted, Jesus, he really told you all of this? James, well no, technically I never actually talked to him. Ted, then how did you get to know him? James, I just made assumptions from looking at him for a second. This is good, but Bluetooth speaker guy tends to listen to way shittier music than Wu-Tang Clan. It's always snary auto-tuned crap as well. Yeah, and last time it was fucking NCS Music Acewell. And some shitly local country music, BTW. We were at a summer camp. Not covering your damn mouth when you cough or sneeze. Or when adults cough or sneeze directly into their hands, then don't wash or set eyes. They should know better. I sneeze into elbow when at work and home. Edit, I'm not joking, I do. People who always try to one-up your situation. Tell them you've got a cold and they'll respond, I've had pneumonia for 10 years. Or some shit. I really hate it when people two-up my situations. Two-upping. That's nothing. I gotta deal with getting three-upped constantly. Grocery store shoppers that leave their cart in the middle of the aisle so no one can pass by as they bend over to read labels. They seem oblivious to others trying to get by and don't take the hint when a shopper makes a sound to get their attention. That's when you ram their cart. That's when you ram the person. PPL telling me to do things that I was going to do. Edit, thank you for the silver, kind stranger. My brother and I have this game where one of us will ask the other person to do something right before they do it. So if I know he's about to go put his plate in the sink, I'll just say, hey, could you put your plate in the sink for me? Thanks. It's hilarious every time. My GF and I do this when driving around, giving directions we already know to each other. Take a left up here. I fucking know that this is my street. The type of people who can never just admit they screwed up. Doesn't matter how small the mistake is. When confronted, they always have an excuse or a story. Just fucking say I'm sorry and move on. I don't need an essay on why you did what you did. It's not that big of a deal. I know someone that refuses to ever accept they were wrong, let alone apologize for it. They are infallible and it's so frustrating. Safe to say we don't talk much anymore. Hey, how do you know my mother? While at a restaurant, people just needing to have the volume on their phones turned up to max while they either listen to trash music or let their kid play some game, and said game sounds like a damn slot machine. Nobody around you wants to hear it. Also with earbuds in, something catching the cord and having them violently ripped out of your ears. Edit, wow, apparently my small complaints aren't so small. It's good to know I'm not the only one. And humbled to get my first ever award. Tie. When I was a waitress I got stiffed on a tip because if this table is 12, 2 families, 2 bills. Took up almost my entire section. Mom let her little girl play a slot machine sounding game on her phone at full volume and it could honestly be heard everywhere in the restaurant. Myself and another server asked the manager what we could do about it and he said nothing because no other guest had complained. Eventually that other server went behind both our backs and asked the woman to turn the volume down. She was not happy. Complained to the manager, got some comps, and both families left me absolutely nothing as a tip. Being that I had to pay the restaurant a certain percentage of my sales, I actually paid to serve them. The other server was afraid the noise would affect how her guests tipped her, so that's why she did it. Also fuck that policy of letting someone ruin everyone's good time because no one has spoken up yet. It was obviously annoying many other people. You have to pay the restaurant for your sales. Where do you live? That's insane.